Good afternoon and welcome to Borough Hall. My name is Abe Friedman. I serve as the Intergovernment Director for the Borough President. We are excited to have all of you at the Heroes of the Month event that we are about to begin. And each time when we do these Heroes of the Month honoring, we are so proud with our honorees. And these individuals who go way beyond the call of duty to assist and help others. So we are excited, want to welcome you, and without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the Borough President Eric Adams.
Thank you, Abe. Thank you. Great event, and just really reiterating what Abe stated, throughout the last few years, we've acknowledged so many what we call heroes of the month, and as they just move beyond the call of duty, and you see men and women of the law enforcement community that's surrounding us today, but in reality, there are countless number of people who were also acknowledged just for doing everyday things, and one of them is Ms. Torch, who we're going to acknowledge for December. For the month of October is police officers Charles Edwards and Damion Graham, Transit District 30. I see the CO is here with us as well. November, NYPD Deputy Inspector Joseph Seminara, and as I stated, December is Ms. Torch. And we are really excited about the entire group for the 3 months, October, November, and December. These individuals really exemplify the best and bravest among us by going beyond the call of duty, not only to save lives, but to impact the life of everyday Brooklynites and New Yorkers. And I want to give a really special mention to Officers Crystal Barbosa and Wendell Diaz. If you haven't heard, they are from the 73rd Precinct. They saved a 9-month-old child that was choking Sunday morning. And this is extremely important to me as a state senator. I introduced and helped push through legislation that required for our officers to receive in-service training throughout the year so they can remain familiar with giving CPR with our children, and it saves lives. This was called the Briana's Law. The parents of young Briana that died after a similar incident lobbied me, and we remain in contact and as friends, and I'm happy to see that that law assisted in saving the life of a young person, because those officers were well trained, and cases like Sunday shows us how important it is. The first heroes are police officers Charles Edwards and Damion Graham of Transit District 30. They're from the month of October. On Monday, October 8th, a 911 call came through of a 1-year-old baby traveling with his parents on a downtown C train, and the baby had stopped breathing. The officers immediately responded to the scene, and Officer Edwards took Amir Nieves into his arms and began CPR while his partner, Officer Graham, assisted Officer Edwards and ready to transfer the baby to the nearest hospital rather than wait for EMS to arrive. When EMS did arrive, the officers led the way, clearing for traffic as the ambulance ensured that the baby during those precious seconds were able to provide them with the necessary care, and the baby were able to get to the hospital, and the life of the young child was saved, and we cannot thank them enough. We want also Assistant Chief Vincent Coogan was going to join us, but his time didn't allow him to do so, but we want to acknowledge him as well. And so today we want to present the proclamation to Officer Charles Edwards and NYPD Police Officer Damion Graham. Okay, the mother is here. Where's the okay, the mother's here? Okay. Thought you were. Whereas on behalf of all Brooklynites, I salute Police Officer Charles Edwards of Transit District 30 for his heroic act of saving the life of a 1-year-old baby who had a seizure and stopped breathing while traveling with his parents on a downtown C train. I applaud him for properly beginning CPR on the toddlers while awaiting for the ambulance to arrive on the scene. I commend Police Officer Charles Edwards for his dedication and unwavering service to the New York City Police Department, playing an important role in keeping Brooklyn and New York City safe, and I thank him for his heroic actions on the day in question. I, Eric Adams, Brooklyn Borough President. Congratulations to you, Officer Charles.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Officer Edwards. And the second is going to his partner, Officer Damion Graham. On behalf of all Brooklynites, I applaud you as well for your heroic actions in saving the life of a toddler. Thank you. Good to see you. You're going to step out here and take a picture. Captain, you want to get in that picture?
Just so Borough President said, say a few words, so I'll say a few quick words. Just want to say thank you. I really appreciate this. It's humble for what I did. I think it's part of the job. I'm just happy I was able to do it, and I was able to go into action and be able to do what I did, instead of just standing there and going into some type of shock. So I'm just happy that baby Amir is doing fine. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, hello guys. I'm just grateful for my partner, for the doctors, for the EMS, for everybody who helped out in saving little Amir, and I'm just grateful. Thank God.
Thank you.
I just want to thank my guys. I'm Inspector Vincent Chiantazzi. I'm the commanding officer of Brooklyn Transit, so all the transit officers in Brooklyn work for me. And this just shows what the great job that they do every day in and day out, keeping us safe, and especially, helping. It's not just crime; it's everything else that goes along with it. And thank you very much, guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look at the quick picture, Captain, Inspector, officers. As the inspector stated, it is clearly more than just fighting crime. Every day, those of you who knew me, I started my career in the Transit Police Department, and I'm happy to see Captain White, who was one of my police officers, and he continued to move up through the rank. Our next hero of the month for the month of November is Deputy Inspector Joseph Seminara for his heroic and selfless actions in extracting and saving the life of a woman trapped in a burning car that was involved in a wreck on Bell Parkway in Canarsie. At the completion of his tour, 14-hour tour as CEO of the 23rd Precinct in Spanish Harlem, Deputy Inspector Seminara was driving home when he came upon a two-vehicle car wreck, and both vehicles were in a blaze. Some bystanders informed him that a woman was trapped in one of the vehicles and could not get out. Deputy Inspector attempted to get the 30-year-old Rhonda Alexander out through the driver's door, but the accident had damaged the door and it wouldn't open. Fast thinking and reacting to the emergencies as the flames engulfed the car, and there was no time to spare. The Deputy Inspector got in through the passenger door, but still had difficulty getting the woman out. An anonymous motorist jumped into the fray and assisted in removing the woman from the car. We also joined together in thanking the Good Samaritan, who we never found out who his name was, but we want to really thank the Good Samaritan. It really just personifies how so often people just carry out good actions and go on about their day and their lives. But the Deputy Inspector responding, really going beyond the call of duty after completing his tour. It is already rigorous enough going through a complete tour of duty, 14 hours, and to continue to understand that a police officer is never off duty as he continues to ensure that the city is safe. The Deputy Inspector demonstrated absolute courage and relentless effort without regard to his own safety and with total devotion to the ideal of serving and protecting his fellow citizen. As a former captain, I clearly understand the magnitude of his actions, and we are proud and fortunate to have such devoted heroes among the ranks of the New York City Police Department, not only in the ranks of police officers, but also in the rank of inspector, who's a commanding officer. We're also privileged to join today by Rhonda Alexander, okay? And her family. Where's your family, Rhonda? She's okay, they're not here, okay. Who are here to share in her celebration. They didn't make it, but we're happy Rhonda's here to celebrate. And I want to thank you, Inspector, as we present this proclamation on behalf of all Brooklynites. I salute Deputy Inspector Joseph G. Seminara for demonstrating bravery and selflessness in the face of disaster by assisting Rhonda, who was trapped in her burning car after a serious car collision on the Bell Parkway in Canarsie. I applaud him for his act of bravery, cooperating with another unknown person to pull Rhonda to safety. I commend the Deputy Inspector for his dedication and unwavering service to the New York City Police Department, playing an important role in keeping Brooklyn and New York City residents safe. I, Eric Adams, Brooklyn Borough President, to Deputy Inspector Joseph G. Seminara. Good job. Good job.
Bring them up.
Come on, guys.
No, everywhere we go.
One, two, three. Thank you, guys.
Love it.
Everyone here real quick?
Please, sir.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, Mr. Borough President. You know, what started out as a chance encounter on the Bell Parkway, Rhonda and I are now friends. She was over our house for Christmas Eve dinner. Unfortunately, I found out that night that she's allergic to seafood, so it kind of put a damper on the Italian tradition. But no, this really means a lot, Mr. Borough President. Thank you. As a Brooklyn kid born and raised, this really is a tremendous honor. And I just want to acknowledge the real hero, somebody who was not trained to be a first responder, somebody who was in a very stressful situation. She remained calm and collected, and her calmness under fire, literally, really resulted in her standing here today. So Rhonda Alexander is our hero today. Thank you.
You want to say a few words, Rhonda? Come on.
Well, hi, everyone. I'm thankful to be here. If it wasn't for him and the Good Samaritan, I probably wouldn't be here. Just like to say thank you, and I'm thankful to be alive.
Thank you. Thank you. Great story. Great story. You know, really, really great story. And I want to join in thanking you, Inspector, for just really going beyond the call of duty. And a great signature to the story, you guys shared Christmas Eve dinner together. A lot to give thanks for, the gift of life. Our last hero is the month of December. This is just a really great story. The organization is called Emma's Torch, a nonprofit organization that's here located in Brooklyn. The organization empowers refugees and survivors of human trafficking. It really moves towards building the lives of people who are experiencing a very difficult moment in their existence. Emma's Torch is a restaurant and classroom at the same time located in Carroll Gardens, Brooklyn. It is named after Emma Lazarus, who wrote the inspiring words on the Statue of Liberty, urging, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." The chefs you see at Emma's Torch working to prepare the meals are the students who receive 8 weeks of paid apprenticeship training, English language classes, and job placement services. Their menu is a collection of eclectic and delicious dishes and is varied as the many student chefs who prepare them. 100% of their graduates in 2017 seeking full-time careers were placed in culinary jobs. 100% of their graduates who were seeking employment was placed in full-time careers in culinary jobs. These jobs have enabled graduates to build their lives, and at the same time, it allowed them to bring their spouses, and some of the graduates were able to transition out of homeless shelters into permanent living environments. Image Torch seeks to harness the power of culinary industry to help refugees build new lives in their new community. Early this month, it was announced that the social enterprise will operate the concession program at the Brooklyn Public Library, Central Library, starting in February. So that's an amazing indicator of how great they're doing. We're a nation of immigrants, so many of us have come to this country in their first and second generation. Image Torch personifies what's great about this country and what is great about giving back and allowing people to find hope and prosperity in the greatest country alive. So on behalf of all Brooklynites, I salute Image Torch, a nonprofit entity in the community of Carroll Gardens in Brooklyn that empowers refugees and survivors of human trafficking to build new lives through the culinary arts. I applaud Image Torch for operating the concession program at Brooklyn Public Library Central Branch beginning early next year. I commend Image Torch for serving as an inspirational beacon of philanthropic and service, and I thank everyone for all that they have done to improve the lives of many Brooklynites and New Yorkers. On behalf of all Brooklynites, I salute you. Image Torch, Eric Adams, Brooklyn Borough President. Thank you, man. Great program. Thank you. Can I step out here and take a photo?
I just want to thank you for honoring us and recognizing that the work that we do is important for our students, and understanding that we are trying to instill confidence in our students and independence such that they can continue and begin successfully their journey in this country and the beginning of their culinary career. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll do a joint picture, whatever you want. We'll do a joint picture, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, guys. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Ron.